15 of the Larry Millette murder trial. The messages he reportedly sent to spellcasters before his wife disappeared, and what his cell phone records show in the days that followed.
A big announcement, $46 million to help address the Tijuana River sewage crisis. How this money could be used.
The United States' first World Cup match is practically here. A report with the team from Irvine, California, coming up.
The party is here at Fit Social. We'll bring you into SDFC's official watch party coming up.
The first massive drone light show in East County is happening in Santee tonight. It's a kickoff to America's 250th birthday celebration.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. The state is making $46 million available to address the ongoing water quality problems at our southern border.
Governor Gavin Newsom made the announcement today as the South Bay continues to look for relief. News 8's Esmeralda Perez joins us in studio with how these funds can be used. This is big news.
Very Marcella and Carlo. The State Water Resource Control Board opened applications today for $46 million in grants targeting contamination in cross-border rivers and coastal waters. The money comes from Prop 4, a voter-approved bond covering safe drinking water, wildfire prevention, and drought preparedness passed back in 2024. Officials call it a step forward, but South Bay communities are still living in the middle of an environmental crisis.
We're very enthusiastic. We're optimistic to be partnering with the state. It's funding that will come at a critical moment in time as far as our efforts here locally.
County Board Supervisor Paloma Aguirre, who previously served as mayor of Imperial Beach, has long advocated for action on the crisis. She has pushed for the removal of a key piece of infrastructure she calls a hotspot along Saturn Boulevard, which she says contributes to gas and chemical emissions in the area.
So it's important to have this funding that could go to help remove this piece of infrastructure that we don't need to wait for the federal government to help us for. So I think it's important. We're moving in the right direction.
According to the governor's office, funding will support projects that reduce bacteria and trash pollution, address public health impacts from transboundary contamination, and support restoration and sediment management. The grants target both the Tijuana River and other areas, with at least one project selected from each waterway. Awards range from up to $750,000 for planning or research, or $10 million for implementation. Imperial Beach Environmental and Natural Resources Director Chris Helmer says the city knew this funding was coming and welcomes the state becoming more engaged.
It's not giving relief to our businesses who are being impacted down here. It is not significantly addressing the public health issue at all. It is not giving support and guidance to the folks that live and work down here of how can you protect yourself. So this is really on the infrastructure side of improvements. So this is a step for the state to be more engaged in supporting some of these projects, but there's a lot more that we want the state of California to be involved in.
And Helmer says there's still more the state can do, including addressing public health concerns, supporting watershed cleanup and recovery, and helping advance federal projects targeting trash, sediment, and flood control.
Esmeralda, this funding is definitely a start, but the governor says more needs to be done. So what is he asking of the federal government?
Well, that's right, Marcella. The governor says California has stepped up repeatedly, but cannot solve what he calls a decades-long federal failure alone. He is calling on the Trump administration to do more, including working with Mexico to ensure projects already negotiated to address the crisis are funded and completed, and to repair and expand the South Bay International Wastewater Treatment Plant. Back to you.
Thanks so much, Esmeralda.
Tonight, more testimony in the Larry Millette murder trial.
He is accused of killing his wife, Maya, who hasn't been seen since January of 2021. Cameras are not allowed in the courtroom, but our Shannon Handy was there all day and breaks down now what happened inside court today.
A lot happened today. Attorneys argued about an affair Larry had years before he and Maya had kids. Defense says it's not relevant. The prosecution said it is. Now, the judge did side with the defense, but he noted that this was already brought up during testimony, so it's not a secret. We also heard from a DA investigator who talked about things Larry allegedly Googled, things like poison hemlock and do you die faster by being shot in the head or heart. He also discussed messages that Larry sent to spellcasters leading up to Maya's disappearance and what his cell phone activity revealed after. DA investigator James Rhodes testified that in late December, less than 2 weeks before Maya vanished, Larry sent a series of messages to multiple spellcasters saying he was desperate to save his marriage. In one message he wrote, "I'm ready to take the gloves off. Please make May sick and keep her sick and incapacitated enough so she can't leave the house until she realizes how much she loves me and needs me." In another, Larry allegedly wrote, "She's only nice to me when she needs me or is sick." At one point, he said they were on a family off-roading trip in the desert and asked for, quote, "an accident or a broken bone." Maya disappeared on January 7th, 2021, shortly after telling family and friends she planned to divorce Larry. The Chula Vista mother of 3 was last seen on a neighbor's surveillance camera. Rhodes also walked jurors through Larry's cell phone activity in the days that followed. According to cell phone forensics, Larry turned his phone off on January 8th at 6:35 a.m. and didn't turn it back on for 12 hours until 6:34 p.m. Also today, once again, things were tense between the defense and the prosecution. At one point, there was an argument about a screenshot found on Larry's phone. It was a CNN article about the Gabby Petito case, which is a well-known domestic violence murder case. Specifically, the headline was about her fiance's demeanor after her murder, and apparently Larry screenshotted this in September of 2021, 1 month before he was arrested. Reporting in Chula Vista, I'm Shanna Handy for News 8.
Thanks for that update, Shannon. And stay up to date with the latest from the trial online and on our CBS 8 streaming app. Download on your TV or your phone and watch for free. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is finally here.
It all kicked off earlier today with Mexico's dominating performance over South Africa. Our Karthik Venkatraman joins us in studio now with more. Good way for Mexico to get started, one of the host countries.
Yeah, for sure. That place was electric right off the bat. I think they really felt the hype. With these host countries in their opening matches, that's what makes it so fun. And yes, Mexico took on South Africa and they won 2-0 in front of their home crowd over in Mexico. And really, it was never close. Mexico dominated this from the get-go. They got out to a goal in just the 9th minute when Julian Quinones puts one in the back of the net, and South Africa was reeling from that point onwards. Mexico would have several chances. They didn't find the back of the net in the first half until South Africa had a red card in the second half, put them a man down, and Mexico really put this game away with another goal as Estadio Azteca in Mexico City was electric. The country was going wild. There was green all over the place, as you can see how excited they were. And Mexico will keep moving on. They'll play South Korea next in group play. That's going to be next Thursday. South Korea will be playing Czechia later today as well. So very interesting for Mexico. They played very well to start things off and definitely positions them well moving out of group play. As for Team USA, they'll be playing tomorrow against Paraguay to start their World Cup run. Jake Garriani will be joining us here in a little bit, breaking down that matchup and kind of the feud tension that those two teams have had between each other. Back to you, Marcella and Carlo.
Thanks so much, Karthik. Kickoff to the second match of the World Cup is almost here. Don't have to wait long.
Yeah, South Korea is taking on Czechia in Guadalajara, Mexico. But there are watch parties happening all around San Diego. Our Alex Lai was at one watch party earlier today in Mission Beach.
There is so much excitement out here. We're on the Mission Beach Boardwalk, just right next to Fit Social, where there is the official SDFC watch party for tonight's game. Now, the game hasn't started yet, but there's still quite a few people over here at the bar. There's lots of TVs, and there's also a big stage, food, merch, and plenty of space for dancing and celebrations. Earlier today, DJ Dynamic was out here, and later tonight for the Korea Republic and Czechia match, there will be a K-pop night. This is just the first of 104 matches over 39 days. There will be fun out here at Fit Social. These watch parties are free to attend, but you must RSVP ahead of time at sdfc.com/soccer celebration. There you can also find information for different matches and events going on each day. It's recommended to get there early because today, for the first game of the World Cup and the first watch party, there was quite the crowd, especially of Mexico fans.
And we knew this was the place to be, and We knew Mexico was gonna win.
Oh, the environment is great. Everyone loves Mexico. I like that everyone's has Mexico jerseys right here, and I love when we celebrated the goals.
Again, the next game starts in just an hour at 7 p.m. People are already starting to come in and get excited to watch. This is just the first day out of 39 that there will be watch parties here and, of course, all across San Diego. This is such an exciting time. We can't wait to bring you more coming up. I'll pass it back to you guys.
Thanks, Alex. And you can find all of our World Cup coverage on the CBS 8 app. A lot going on in San Diego. Download on your TV or phone and watch for free. State officials are pushing back on White House pressure to influence California's elections.
Coming up next, the just-in-case bills being considered ahead of the November election.
Plus, what you need to know as weather forecasters officially say El Nino is here.
And when we look out from our Mount Soledad cam, we have a mixed bag of clouds. You got low clouds, you got upper level clouds, but only one of those is actually going to bring in a slight chance we could see some wet weather for parts of the county. I'll explain after the break.